Grand Rising, good afternoon and good evening. Whatever time you click on this reading is the right time for you, and I thank you in advance for your viewership and support. By the time you see this, the thumbnail is on this video, and I know, baby, you didn't see this one coming. But this is actually one of the most necessary in this series, and it's going to be interesting from beginning to end. This reading is about none other than Demetrius Flannery, better known to the industry, the streets, and the world as Big Meech. Now, in this generation, a lot of people did not grow up directly under his influence, and they have no idea what his influence actually means, not just to the street, but to entertainment, okay? If you have ever made it rain, been in a club while somebody made it rain, watched a music video while people made it rain, that came from Big Meech. When you see music videos where you have a sea of cars, luxury cars. You see all these fur coats and these exotic skins and things of that nature. That came from the underground, the streets of Detroit, just the streets in general. But Meech was someone that was very, and still is, someone that's very well respected. And he was emulated throughout the entire industry, especially hip hop, and he's still being emulated to this day. Rick Ross said it himself, I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, okay? So that right there lets you know that everybody that you know of from, I want to say, the mid-90s on out, that ever wanted to, appear a certain way from, before the camera rather, chances are they're emulating Big Meech. Now, the reason why he's added to this series is because before Meech went to prison, he interacted a lot with a lot of people in the industry, especially Puffy. There was a lot of back and forth that ended up turning into a really unfortunate situation that led to the demise of Wolf, who was at one point in time a right-hand man to Puffy. The same Wolf that the internet feels could possibly be Justin's father. So the story runs really deep between these two. And I decided, if anybody deserves a life after Puffy reading, it's definitely Big Meech. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and grab my cards. Yeah, I hadn't even got them out yet, but I had to preface this because, I was a teenager in the 90s. So I grew up under that umbrella where, that culture, the, street pharmaceutical culture, we'll say, was very prevalent here. And where I'm from, because I always tell you I'm from 7 Mile, the feds came through. They were putting dogs in people's cars, pulling them over on the freeway. Anybody who was an adult during that time or a teenager can tell you, you had to watch your back 75, 85, 85, 95. Because if you had Detroit plates, it was just assumed by law enforcement that you could be, transporting that work. So a lot of people left the city due to the feds flooding the city. And during that time, Meech was one of them. He left. He went to Atlanta. Not to say that this was his reason for leaving, but he left. He went to Atlanta. A lot of people, went to like Minneapolis, the Midwest, throughout the Midwest, Iowa, different places, and decided to set up shop. Meech went to Atlanta and changed the whole landscape of the music industry. And part of one of those changes gave birth to what, everybody knows as trap music. Now, yes, trap music is definitely an Atlanta staple, but it was inspired by the culture of trapping, okay? So can someone please timestamp this reading for me at 6 minutes and 15 seconds, and we can go ahead and get this whole thing started. Angel, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order, let's tap into the energy around Demetrius Flannery, better known as Big Meech. Alrighty. So we've got this, the Seven of Wands that comes out first. And the Seven of Wands is a card of someone who can hold their own ground, someone who can defend themselves, defend themselves, okay? He was definitely one that was known to hold his own weight. Well, would you look at here? Very early in the reading. Two of Swords and strength. So how was the strength cut off from Big Meech? One of the most powerful, most influential pharmaceutical representatives in the whole entire United States of America, possibly the world. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords, a betrayal. Tell me more about this betrayal, Angel. Oh, wow. Somebody who was playing two sides of the fence, okay? Two of Pentacles. Now, we got a card over here that literally did a cartwheel out my hand and landed on the table. We've got the Hermit in reverse, okay? So this was someone that was a very public figure. The Hermit is someone that's in seclusion. The Hermit in reverse is someone that's out, in the middle of everything. This is someone that is highly seen. This is someone that's always in the mix. Oh, shoot. Yeah, hold on. Got cards doing backflips flying under my chair. And it's face down, so somebody got a lot to hide here. Okay, Lovers in reverse. Now, the Lovers represents Gemini and choice and duality. And remember, I've already said that this person played both sides of the fence. Now, if you remember, or you were around during the time that Big Meech was running the streets, right? Meech was a very, very prominent figure. He was out and about. Nothing about him was, low key, okay? But the thing was, even though he was very, 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 open and, he moved around, there still wasn't anything that can be held against him or pent against him. And that's why this betrayal was necessary. Um, it's like he was put in a no-win situation, because the lovers in the upright represents choice. So this was out of his hands. It was literally nothing that he can do about it. And at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Palace of Swords, which represents the penitentiary. That's like my Fed card. That's the highest that you can go when it comes to getting locked up. So this was literally something that he could not get out of, but it was a strong betrayal to get him there. It wasn't like they had what they needed to get him there. Somebody handed him over. Let's find out more about who handed him over. The person who handed him over did it so that they could come up. You've got the Six of Wands here. This is forward movement and expansion, moving forward towards victory, right? So this person was promised that they would be able to level up and move forward towards victory. They would be able to advance and expand through Meech's heartbreak. So even though, Meech dealt with Diddy, it wasn't as, deep as Diddy would like people to believe that it was. This was real touch and go, okay? Page of Cups is like, hey, what up, though? Slapping hands when I see you. But this is nothing serious. This is not someone that's in the inner fold, in the inner circle. So I feel like that's something that needs to be said. Like, that's a very important piece. And I feel like the answer is here at the bottom of the deck. Meech may have known something about his proclivities back then, and this was not his cup of tea. Ace of Wands is a phallic symbol. He definitely was like, foot to the foot to the gas, straight to the floor, no brakes. Like, when I see you, I push straight through. I don't mess with you like that. I deal with you in the way I need to, but we don't kick it like that type energy. Angels, please expand upon that. And Seven of Wands, that's also like a defensive stance towards Puffy. So this means from the off the bat, he dealt with him in the way that he needed to, but he was guarded with him. Why was he guarded with him? Interesting. So you got the Tree of Life here. So here it is. The Tree of Life represents taking care of everything and everyone that is a part of the family. So he wasn't in the fold. He wasn't a part of the family. He didn't see him as somebody who could be added into the family. Okay. I was just about to ask, why did he see him in a way where he needed to be standoffish and defensive? You got the King of Swords here. Now, in business, the King of Swords is definitely a businessman, someone who can be, seen as very intelligent, very good with business, great with paperwork, great with numbers, okay, great with being able to document things. But that also is, a card of 12. We ought to don't know what 12 means. That's somebody who could, be tied into the police. But these ain't no regular police, y'all. King of Swords would be upper echelon. This wouldn't be like a detective, that you got under your pocket. This one is someone who could allegedly be tied in with the feds. Before I go any further, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. All things said are alleged and for entertainment purposes. Allegedly. So it always felt like he never really trusted him for real. He always felt like there was just something about him, something that just didn't settle right. Tell me more about what didn't settle right. So it was exposed to him that this dude was two-faced, because the sun doesn't just represent the happiest happy times coming, or happier times are on their way, or things like that. Because it falls under this two of coins, it lets it be known that it was illuminated to him. It was brought to his attention. It was somehow, some way made obvious to him that this dude could not be trusted. He's fickle in some type of way. He is two-faced. He's someone that can't be trusted. He has not just two faces, but like two personalities. This is a person who has an alter ego that's used in real life. So if you think about artists that have an alter ego, and I perform under, this, this name and this type of energy because this is a part of the act. Well, this is a person who literally lives like that. They present themselves one way when they're another way. So the independent woman. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm literally hearing the word groupie. So at some point in time, he may have seen him as somebody that was like a groupie. And the Nine of Coins represents, like I said, the independent woman. But he, y'all excuse me. My spirit guides are like, he knew he had bitch in him. Okay? And when you tie that to groupie, it's like, okay, you're an independent business owner. And but he sees you like a groupie, and some of your behavior, for if you don't like cussing, this ain't gonna be the reading for you. I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum because I still want to respect the guidelines of this app, but I'm hearing bitch made. So he knew that, to a certain extent, dude was bitch made. And here's the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck that represents the water sign. Now listen, let's remember, both of these men are water signs. Meech is a Cancer, Puffy is a Scorpio. So my angels are saying that, due to this situation that was out of Meech's hands, it stripped him of everything. Five of Pentacles, as far as we know. And this is how this person was able to move forward towards victory, allegedly. So it looks like, I wish I could see, because it's like I'm doing air quotes and y'all can't even see it. It looks like allegedly Puff may have handed Meech over to higher authorities, and they promised him certain things that would help move him forward and perpetuate his career, taking him from one level to the next, if he possibly, allegedly, put Meech in a position to be handed over. Yeah. The Death card, something had to end for something to begin. But as you can see, there's a moon behind this Reaper's head, meaning that this is the unseen hand, which you don't see, the secrets, because moons have multiple phases. It's always a side of the moon you don't see. So it feels like this was a very, very, very top secret type secret behind what helped to fuel Diddy to move forward. Because in this situation, Diddy would be the page of cups. Meech would be the king of cups. And I get the energy that Meech would son Puffy quite often because he knew he had bitch in him. I'm literally hearing you want to be me when you grow up. Now, the Ace of Cups doesn't just represent love. It also represents abundance, okay? So when you think about, when people pray, they pray for blessings where their cup is running over. That would be this type of abundance, but you had to take this leap of faith, the Fool, okay? And this allegedly, because y'all know I be over here in the rabbit hole at the Rabbit Hole University teaching classes about things that allegedly happened, right? We don't know. We weren't there. But this is looking like how he was able to move forward and to be in a certain position. How Puff may have moved forward from being a page to a king. He had to dethrone a king to ascend to become one. And once this possibly allegedly happened, things started moving very, very fast for him. 8 of Wands. It was like, he was put on a slingshot and propelled right into the next level of his career and his life. But remember what I said. Here it is. It popped back up at the bottom of the deck. Something had to perish for something new to begin. Yeah, and here it is. The world, the end of a cycle, the end of a dynasty for a family, because this falls under the tree of life. What family? What family might you ask? None other than the Black Mafia family, better known to the world as BMF. Why would they use him in such a way? Why would, the government use him against someone like Meech? Now, you got this 9 of Swords here, and it's fallen under the 2 of Swords to the Strength card. And that's saying that they wanted to cut the head off the snake so the body would drop. They wanted to, take down the strongest member. And literally, when you destroy him, it would cause anxiety, fear. It would literally shake the streets, because if they could get Meech, they could get anybody. Meech was considered untouchable, at least by the street standards. Tell me more, though, about the story behind that. Because, Meech wasn't the only one out here getting money. Not to say that he wouldn't be a target for how he was getting money, but it was more to it. Show me the other side of it, angels. Here it is. The wounded warrior. He was a soldier. He could go to war over and over and over again. He had tenacity. This is Mr. Knock 'em down 9, get up 10. Okay? So you got the 6 of Cups here, which represents the energy of the past. And remember what I told you, Meech was a very, very public figure. He's not someone who was, hid away, tucked away, you didn't see him. He was very in your face, very in the street. And a decision had to be made. And remember I said decision had to be made, a choice that led to, somebody's back being against the wall, possibly losing everything. Okay, got it. So this isn't Meech that was going to lose everything, y'all. Allegedly, Puff had a hard decision to make. Something was going on with his money. He was possibly broke. So, think about people who, drive brand new expensive foreign cars and they got on the best of clothes, but they don't have the gas money to keep that car going, or the lifestyle to continue the maintenance of the things that they've acquired. So it looks like Puff's back was against the wall, and he had some very serious money issues. Some tough decisions had to be made, and it was going to cause people to walk away from him if they found out that he was actually going broke or already had become broke. And this was definitely an unrequited offer, 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. He did not want everybody to know that he may have allegedly squandered a very large amount of money. Do tell, y'all. Do tell. Come on, angels. So now we getting somewhere, baby. We cooking with hot grease, because this is the lineup behind the decision that led to the back door to line Meech up. Had to do with money. Allegedly. And remember I told you that Ace of Cups also represents abundance that helps somebody to move forward towards victory. Here's what brought the balance. The Justice Department, the DOJ. Allegedly. Y'all, I gotta take a pause, because just to take that in, okay, I want you to understand something. Puffy's father, before he passed away, worked for Frank Lucas, who would have been the Big Meech of his time. And the rumor mill has always alleged that there was a possibility that Puffy's dad may have been a rat. Now that's interesting in itself, that Puffy may have wanted to be like his father when he grew up, but what if it was like father, like son? Just something interesting to ponder, because here at the bottom of the deck, you got Temperance, which means balance through a new beginning, okay? And through justice, or the Justice Department, balance came for a new beginning for the Page of Cups, and it happened really fast. And soon as that happened, look at there. Was there a deposit? Somebody invested in you? This is starting to feel very Crime Stopper-ish. I don't know. Starting to feel that way. Now, it's interesting because the energy around Meech keeps looking at Puff in feminine energy. Now, remember what I said earlier. Okay? He always knew that there was some bitch in him. Not because of, what he does at those parties or what's in his bedroom, but because of his moral compass and his character. And just like that, something had to end for something to begin. And how something ended and how something began was attached to a very, very big secret, this moon. The overlay for the underplay looks like it was completed. And just like that, a star was born after an end of a cycle for a family tree. Welcome to Casa de Puffy, Palace of Cups. Now you have the infrastructure laid for you to have your own kingdom, your own dynasty. But there was always some anxiety behind this. Why? Look at this. Now the person who has now become the King of Cups, you're worried about perishing. You're worried about somebody possibly backdooring you. Allegedly. So here it is. This person that's playing both sides, who exposed things from the past, is sitting here in shame, regret, remorse, embarrassment. So remember what I said about, Meech's son and them, treating him like he was a little dude. Him wanting to be like, all the historical figures in the street. The gangsters, the ones that were respected. Wanting to be the emperor himself. And here it is. The Queen of Cups is one of the most benevolent queens. This is the Queen of Intuition. Intuition can even be psychic. This is like, the person out of the deck. If anybody has 9 lives, it would be the Queen of Cups, because her intuition would spare her and keep her from all types of situations. So she would definitely appear to be like a cat with 9 lives. So it was extremely hard for anybody to get next to Meech because of his intuition, and he had the ability to reinvent himself while still being true to who he was. So it was not easy to get next to him, but his intuition was telling him somehow, some way, that him going to jail was near. But I need to know more about this Eight of Swords, because Eight of Swords can also be binding, okay? Not just going to prison. You can be binded. Tell me more about this Eight of Swords. So remember I said, you know, here it is. It feels like allegedly Puff had his back against the wall because he, you know, had financial issues. He was afraid of people walking away from him when they found out. And he was trying to consider his options, which way he should go, what he should do. And Seven of Cups is also a card for me. I can't speak for any other intuitive. This is a card of someone who may have substance abuse issues, cross-addicted. So he may have already had these substance abuse issues back then, which could allegedly be part of the reason why he couldn't hold on to money and why, you know, he played both sides of the fence, why he had an alter ego versus a regular personality. If you've ever dealt with someone who has, you know, substance issues, like serious substance issues, they could literally, click out and become a whole different person depending on if they had what they needed in their system or not, if you get what I mean. So here it is, you know, back against the wall, money decisions, afraid of people walking away from you. It's like he had a huge anxiety issue attached to abandonment, because that abandonment was attached to this Wheel of Fortune. He knew if people walked away from him, the wealth would walk away from him too, allegedly. And there it is, right up under the Justice, King of Swords. Here comes the Feds. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And remember, y'all, remember I said, you know, this last row with the Page of Cups? Y'all, my spirit guides is being... Oh, my God. As soon as I said the Page of Cups, they said peon. Listen, I wasn't around. I didn't deal with that man during that time. I don't know if that is who he was, but I'm telling you what the energy is with him versus someone who is who he wants to be when he grows up, okay? And right up under this Page of Cups to the Eight of Wands, remember I said there could have possibly allegedly been a deposit and investment that happened very swiftly after, Meech being apprehended. Boom, there it is, the Wheel of Fortune. A new dynasty has begun. Now that I think about it, during this time when Puff put out that compilation album, he did a lot of talking about the family. He literally tried to recreate the energy of the family feel, because BMF was not just considered to be a criminal organization, it was considered to be family like. So it's like he tried to recreate that once he got this Wheel of Fortune. Hold on. Because I feel like, I know I have, younger people who watch me, and they weren't alive during this time. So I got to show y'all what I mean. Hold on. Oh, he only has 2 albums here on Apple Music. Let me see. Which is crazy because he did the album by himself. Well, no, it wasn't by himself. Let me take that back. Like I said, it was a compilation album. It came out right after Biggie's demise. Give me a second, y'all, because I feel like this is necessary. Okay. Now, for those of y'all who weren't alive during this time, what does that say? Puff Daddy and what? The Family. That was a compilation album that came out right after Notorious Big passed away. And as you can see, it looks mafioso. Okay? Wow. Like I said, now a star is born after a end of a cycle. Yeah, look at this. Brought stability, excuse me. I almost said pills. Did he have a problem with pills? I don't know. I wasn't around during that time, but that might come up later, y'all. But it brought stability. It brought new mergers, new business. 4 of Wands also represents engagement and family life. Remember, the family. He wanted to recreate the family. The opulence, the palace of coins. This was Meech's life that he was trying to recreate artistically, if that makes sense. Ah, look what the angel said. Ace of Swords, the card of the truth. And that falls right under death and the 9 of Swords. Something had to end for something to begin. And this was a wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. I'm going to have to actually listen to that album, because my angels are saying that that album was a mockery of him literally like thumbing his nose in Meech's face. Even when that album came out, I believe that was like 1997. I really didn't listen to that album like that. The one song that, I played a couple of times was like, Is This the End? Where he had Genuine singing on the hook. But for the most part, that wasn't a compilation album that I really, played like that. If I listened to anybody out of New York who had compilation albums, it was more so like Terror Squad or Rough Riders. That was more my speed. Okay, well, we got face down. What are we hiding? Eight of Pentacles. Now this person looks like they've been promised work, and this is how they get their coins up. This is how you became the King of Pentacles. Oh, wait. Y'all give me a second. I want to make sure I got space on this table because I know I'm going to have to fill this whole table up. So, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the term destiny swap, but this is what this is starting to feel like. This is starting to feel like a destiny swap. And it was done through karmic, toxic, possibly, allegedly demonic energy. Okay? Now, for those of you who may not know, because like I said, there's a lot of young people who are getting acclimated or reacclimated with who Meech really is now and who he was. Meech grew up in a God-fearing home with parents that, you know, were very devout, you know, Christian family, like, you know, Church of God in Christ, apostolic type upbringing before he got off in the street. So even though he was in the line of work that he was in, the pharmaceutical representative type work, his roots were very, very deep in God. Puffy roots were always dark. And remember I said that Eight of Swords was going to come up somewhere soon down the line. Here's my confirmation. So as you can see, this person in this cage who has this pentagram facing down, as below, so above. This person was binded. But what Puff didn't expect is that this door would open to the cage. Eventually, the person that is being locked away, caged up, would come home. The street's prodigal son would return. And remember, that's still a biblical story. And this goes back to this Nine of Swords, this anxiety over the Death card. You were afraid of the day that door would open to that cage, to that cell, because judgment, you could possibly face judgment when that door opened. But you didn't expect the judgment to come from the hand of God himself. See, you were worried about somebody who was looked at like a god in the street. It never crossed your mind that the Most High himself would call judgment. Just so happened around the time he called judgment, the door to that cell would open around the same time. Now look at this stoic look on his face, right? Y'all, this is... So this whole time you've been really, really anxious, you know, on 10, nervous about the day that would come, that cell door would open. Feels like you fought and you lobbied to make sure that it wouldn't, because you didn't want to face retribution. Allegedly. But even the devil has jokes too, because the devil knew that you couldn't hold, bind, trap, or cage Meech up forever. And just like in destiny swaps, when that person gets their power back, the energy returns to sender. Now you're trapped, caged, binded, and Meech is free. And you're trying to consider your options and do whatever it takes to get out of that cage back to your opulent palace, right? But now the roles have reversed, and Meech is moving forward towards victory. People still have a lot of love for him, Ace of Cups. Things balanced out for him with the Justice Department and the feds. And he was finally released. And look at God. Look who's now locked away, trapped, and caged. You got it. The King of Cups. Y'all, here go those sirens. You watch me. You always know the sirens come as a confirmation. Look at this. This is how you allegedly manifested your palace. This is how you got everything you got. Supposedly. And now your dynasty, your kingdom, your family is facing everything 100-fold that you put on Meech. Look at here. Look what happened to the backdoor committee. Now you feel betrayed because you don't know who you can trust. What you put out in the universe is what the universe returns to you. What goes around comes around. Now look. You're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your freedom. And you feel betrayed. So even with you offering to work with him, trying to be around him, it was always an overlay for the underplay. You were always a field captain for the backdoor committee. Your offer was always attached to an overlay for an underplay. And that was your wish fulfillment from the very beginning. Yeah, the King of Coins. Like I said, you fighting for dear life now. Because what? Everything in your life is being brought to a rest. It's all on pause. You don't know how this is going to work out for you. All because of what? The new direction you started to take with things that were going on in these jovial occasions, these parties. You're facing judgment for the new direction you took. You're being ostracized because of this lover's energy in reverse due to things that were happening, Seven of Cups, with possible illicit substances that helped you or empowered you into doing dark, mischievous things. The devil. And those things were what? Caught on camera. This is the card of surveillance. Crazy thing is, you may really have beat all of this had you not have recorded everything. Yeah. Look at this. Under the deck, the unrequited offer came from, look at this, things that you were doing, you know, carnally, because this is a phallic symbol, but it's turned this way. So, you know, forceful things that you were doing being brought to rest. Yeah, this, whoo. The very reason why he looked at you sideways in the first place, the very reason why Meech looked at you and was like, you know, dude, on some other stuff, I don't get down like that. That's the very reason why those same people that came from Meech are coming for you. He ain't want to party with you. He ain't want to kick it with you like that. The way you party wasn't the way he partied. He ain't want to take that. See, you wanted to lock him in for life with you and your family so that you could always siphon off of his family, right? But that wasn't going to happen. Something about you. He was on to you. And you don't like hearing no. And him telling you no led to an unrequited offer that brought a hangman. Man. Once again, this reading is alleged. Everything that I'm saying is for entertainment purposes only. There's no proof to what I'm saying. We're just having a good time while storytelling. Lord, you can't have the peanut butter without the jelly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the blind read that I did called Peanut Butter and Jelly. Okay? Every time one pops up, the other one pops up. So here's your new recruit, the King of Wands under the Seven of Swords. Baby. Lord, somebody gave the rats the keys to the palace. And when the rats got the king's, you know, keys to the palace, this is where they started to possibly, allegedly, start pushing this energy with this Knight of Wands energy. Hyper, you know, carnal, sexual type energy. Feels like this is around the time that this really was pushed and brought into fruition. But like I said, the reason why he ain't want to deal with y'all, this leap of faith y'all took to get off into this new business venture, look at it. You never saw that lightning was going to strike your tower. Disaster was going to come. Never saw that the people that you were collaborating, just like Meech was being watched, you and everybody that you've collaborated with have been watched for a while. And now look who's the wounded warrior. But the difference is Meech got tenacity. You can knock him down 9, he gonna get up 10. But when that tower hits you, you can't even carry the load. Look at you, you folding, you're buckling. You're not built the same. This tower is gonna bring a rest to everything that you've ever touched. You won't be able to rebuild your dynasty. So now you got the Chariot, right? Chariot is like a bulldozer, okay? Chariot comes through no matter what. It pushes through all adversity to come forward. So you bulldozing your way through the wounded warrior, which would be Meech, because he has tenacity. Whew. In the long run, because of unrequited offer. Because secrets came out attached to you and a very high profile woman. And notice there's 2 wolves here. This is peanut butter and jelly. You'll know what I'm talking about? Just read the comments. I'm not going to say the names of peanut butter and jelly, but I think y'all got a hang of who this is. Okay? This woman, this high profile, attractive woman, exposed the secrets, not just your secrets, secrets that are going to lead back to peanut butter and jelly, both of y'all. You never thought that your combative communication or your negative words towards the wounded warrior were going to come home to roost. And it feels like peanut butter, it feels like you use jelly to help you with law enforcement to fight against Meech coming home. Neither one of y'all saw this happening. You didn't even know you were being deactivated. You losing power and being under investigation actually took that weight that was on his shoulder off of him. It took your foot off of his legal neck, because now the hangman belongs to you. Look at this. Now, look at this, jelly. Like I said, read down in the comments. Somebody will fill you in. I'm not going to tell you who peanut butter and jelly is. But look at this. Now, secrets are coming out. The moon attached to unearned income, 6 of Pentacles, how you really get your money and how you really built your dynasty, your palace. And it's also attached to this Knight of Wands energy. Look at that. Pimps up, hoes down type energy. Would you look at that? Allegedly. That's how you really making your money. Transfers from alleged trafficking. Multiple different types of trafficking, because we got 7 of Cups here. That's diversifying your portfolio. See, Meech wasn't into all of that. And it's the things that he wasn't into that became the hangman for peanut butter and jelly. Looks like this is how y'all really got y'all balanced through a new beginning. Temperance. Collaboration card. Y'all been watched for a while. Page of Swords. Y'all didn't even see this coming. Whole time you were binding him, keeping him locked up. You were being watched and didn't see it coming. Remember I said someone was investing in keeping him there. So if you think about lobbyists, anything that you want, if you have a special interest, you can contact someone and, you know, put something in their pocket to pay for a better outcome on a situation. So you may have allegedly collaborated with someone that was a little higher on the food chain in the system to keep pushing back that date, pushing back that date. Oh, he's about to be released. Here go a couple more dollars. Push back that date. And it looks like all of that came to an end when you start being watched. So whoever it is that you may have been, you know, putting your 10%, your offering into their collection plate, looks like this person never told you when you were making those offerings, those deposits into, you know, wherever this was going, that you were being watched as well. Why didn't they tell them? Oh, no honor amongst thieves. They received a new financial opportunity, a new business opportunity. And now this becomes a tower for you. Yeah, it becomes a tower for you and how you manifest for your family. So it feels like someone outbidded you, okay? Someone very prominent who has way deeper pockets than you made a bigger deposit than you did. And that's what got the ball rolling on the same authorities that you possibly sent to Meech coming to you. Ain't that about nothing? The backdoor captain got backdoored by someone that was way bigger than him. Big bank took little bank. Man, I tell you, God always gets the last laugh. Why did this person or this institution, this shadow group, these anonymous folks, place this, they're showing me a poker chip. So why did they take a gamble on doubling down on the downfall of Puffy? Look at that. You preyed upon someone to get a bigger bag, and now someone preyed upon you over a bigger bag. Look at that. Reciprocity. See, you came for someone else and misunderstood, you misunderstood the assignment. And this person or this entity, this institution, represents a very, very powerful family. And this family is responsible for your blessings coming in. This family even knew about how your blessings come in. And when I have, been seeing the signs of trafficking, the Three of Wands always comes up when it comes to his reading. So they know how your family actually get their blessings. And like I said, this family represents a very high, powerful family that you had the audacity to speak in a vulgar way to. Five of Swords. Argumentative. Combative towards this family. You must not have knew who you were talking to. That family decided they were going to come after Peanut Butter and Jelly's wealth secretly. So remember, y'all, when I told y'all that, these two would be deactivated, not by the brotherhood, but by the fatherhood? That fatherhood is a part of that family infrastructure. This is the real big bank take little bank. You overstepped your boundaries. This family knew the truth about how your blessings really come in, these shipments, possible trafficking. And this was your hangman. And they used it against you to place you where? Look at that. The feds. And they put a lot of resources behind this. 6 of coins, resources that you don't have. Remember, I said big bank take little bank. And they're invested in secretly taking you and your buddy down. Look at Peanut Butter and Jelly. They're going to start by slowing down your business ventures and opportunities. They're going to hit you in your pockets first, because you're going to need your pockets to get the right type of legal team to even approach this situation. Notice I said approach, not win. By the time they're done with you, you'll be back to the page of coins. They're going to return you to who you were when your journey began. See, look at that. It took an emperor, a true emperor. Okay? The real gangsters, the ones that wear suits. It took one of them to bring you heartbreak and return you to your place at the master's table. See, you thought you had a seat at the table, or at least that's what you like to project to people. You were only a lapdog that were, allowed to sit by the master's table and get a couple of scraps here and there. And the good thing is, if you know your place, it's a very well-kept position as long as you stay in line. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. And don't presume that you can pull the seat back from the table and sit down. You sit down when and where I tell you to. But until then, remain seated until I throw you scraps. See what happens when you overstep your boundaries? They're not just coming for you, love. You manifested them also coming for the Queen of Coins. Your mother is going to face hardships as well. Because the Palace of Coins, the true ruler of the palace is the Queen. And they know that. And they know this is going to bring you heartbreak. Man, if this ain't poetic justice. So if you know the story about how Meech actually went to prison, there was evidence against his brother Terry due to wiretaps through the phones. But they didn't have anything that would stick against Meech. But the feds threatened to come for his mother. to protect his mother. He complied. Puff, you're not going to have that choice because you won't be able to protect yourself, and you definitely won't be out to shield and safeguard your mother. It looks like they're looking at her now, allegedly. Yeah. The burden is going to be upon her. And remember, I said they're going to slow your money down. They're going to put unsurmountable burdens on you and your family, burdens that you cannot carry. Yeah. This is going to bring balance through a new beginning. It's going to deliver people from toxicity. And cosmically and karmically, the cords to the destiny swap have been cut, and financial stability will be returned back to Meech. All it took was for you to be out of line. And now somebody else is putting you in your place for being disloyal. Look at that. Here we go. Remember I said they're looking at your mother, the Empress, the mother, how you manifested your 10 of coins. When they have what they need, they're coming for your mother. That's prison. Will you make the decision to spare and protect your mother like Meech did? Will you take one for the team to protect your family like Meech did? I don't think you got it in you. Weren't you the one that went to the airport and said, fuck them kids? Didn't they find you in Florida trying to leave? Definitely cut from a different cloth, aren't you? Ace of Cups. This is a plea. This is an offer. Remember, Meech accepted an offer to protect his family. And that offer was to just go ahead and do his time to protect his family. What a difference a day makes. And now your mother is going to be caught holding the bag due to what happened at these parties at the Palace of Cups. Queen of Swords. She's going to have to lawyer up if she hasn't already. See that woman here trapped in the bubble? She may be looking at going to jail, allegedly. So I'm going to end this reading here. And this was definitely an interesting ride. Thank you for everyone who watched this until the end. I thank you for your viewership, your support, and man, destiny swaps are real, but the lesson here is they don't last forever, and you can't keep a real one down. Everybody have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. This reading is adjourned. Talk to y'all soon.